Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Enthros Campbell. On February 21, students across the island will stand in unison to observe the annual Jamaica Day celebration. Now, this year's theme is Celebrating Jamaica, highlighting our icons in the arts, agriculture, and technological innovations. Here to tell us more about Jamaica Day 2020 is Marlon Williams, Senior Education Officer, Curriculum Unit in the Ministry of Education. He's also chairman of the Jamaica Day Planning Committee. Mr. Williams, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
So good to have you. Let us start with the genesis of Jamaica Day. What was the reason behind this introduction?
Right. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has a program which is dubbed the Culture and Education Program. And the purpose of that program is to design and implement activities that will, help the students, will enhance culture. Yes. In our school, in our curriculum, and just in the everyday life of our students. Now, out of that program, we decided that there ought to be some kind of event that would really, be significant in highlighting the culture and heritage, which is so rich. And so in 2002, we decided that we will have what is called Jamaica Day. Yes. And so that is where it actually started. That year, Glenmuir High School was selected as the featured school. And I must indicate at this point, too, that every year we have a school that is, we select as the featured school.
And you will tell us about that. No, tell us about the theme for this year, highlighting our icons in agriculture, arts, and technological innovations.
Right. Now, the theme for every Jamaica Day starts with the stem, Celebrating Jamaica. Yes. Right. This year we have decided to look at our human resources. In other words, in the past we have always looked at artifacts, but there are persons who have made significant contribution to the development and the retention of our culture, our heritage. And we decided this year that we want to honor those persons. Now, they can be persons who have been recognized, nationally, regionally, but we also have some unsung icons in our communities. And so what we ask the schools to do is to select an icon or icons from any of the areas stated in the theme and just showcase the life and work of that person or those persons.
Okay, so on Jamaica Day, that's what we will be seeing.
Right, so when you go to schools right across Jamaica, you'll be seeing a rich display of the life and works of any of the icons that the individual schools would have selected. And of course, these icons could be persons who are alive and persons who have gone before us. Okay.
Right. Any idea of some of these icons? In agriculture, we have T.P. Lecky.
Right. As it relates to culture, I mean, you look at a Bob Marley, I mean, we know his contribution. We look at a Miss Lou, we know her contribution. There are several others. We look at Dr. Carl Wellington and his contribution to agriculture as well, like in the form of genetic engineering. We have a Dr. Lowe, we know of his work. And even in recent times, we have had students who have developed, in the areas of robotics and so on. That's technological innovations. And these are persons who we ought to celebrate.
The students were given some guide as to what exactly they were to produce?
Right. So normally we send out a bulletin from the Ministry of Education to the school. We send the theme. The theme is stated there. And what we really do is to leave it to the creativity of the students, because I must hasten to say that we do have staff and students in our institutions who are very creative. So we just give them a theme. The only guideline that we give them this time around is to ensure that the focus is maintained, which is the arts, agriculture, and of course, technological innovations.
Right. How different is Jamaica Day from, say, Independence Day, National Heroes Day? I know one thing is that it's not a national holiday, right? But what's the difference?
When you look at, take for example, and you use Independence Day as an example, when you look at a day like Independence Day, it is very important because it focuses on where we are as a result of where we're coming from. When you look at a Jamaica Day, which is of equal importance, we're looking at what we have as a result of where we're coming from? What are the things that make us unique as Jamaicans? What are the things that we ought to celebrate that sets us apart from the rest of the world? And that, for me, is the major difference between that day and all the other days that you can think of.
All right, so on a given day, Jamaica Day in schools, tell me what happens.
All right, so we always start with a civic ceremony. And the civic ceremony should last no longer than an hour. This year, our civic ceremony will take on a little different spin. The civic ceremony will normally have like the raising of the flag, a display of the uniformed groups in the schools. We would have persons like the custos, the mayor, and so on participating in the day's event. But this year, we're starting the civic ceremony with what I'm calling an extended devotion. You see, there's no division for us between religion and culture. When you look at, take for example, our heroes, when you look at their backgrounds, some of them were involved in the church, and they are our heroes today. So there's no division. So as a result of that, we're starting with an extended devotion. And this, what I'm talking about now, is the civic ceremony, the national ceremony, which will take place at the featured school.
Yes.
And that devotion will be in the form of a production. And that leads straight into the flag raising.
A production?
It will be in the form of a production. Right, so it's not just to sing songs and so on. But what we're basically doing is we're reaching out to the youths. There is a group which is called Sunrise with Jesus. They are partnering with the featured school this year, and they are going to basically highlight the importance of our children in nation building, in building positive values and attitudes, and so on. As a matter of fact, as a feature of Jamaica Day this year, there will actually be a tent where students can go to get counseling if counseling is needed.
Excellent.
All of that. So that makes it a little different.
Yes.
So it starts off with that extended devotion that leads into the flag raising ceremony. And of course, the civic ceremony will be hosted by our own Miss Faye Ellington.
Okay,
right?
Okay.
And after that, it leads into displays. So after the civic ceremony has ended, we will have cultural displays. So we will have the school, the featured school,
Yes.
setting up booths and so on. But we also have our private partners who will be displaying as well.
Let's come back to that. We'll go to the break. We'll go to the break now. When we come back with more discussion on Jamaica Day Celebration 2020.
Reggae Month 2020 is here and a host of activities are in store across the island. Echoes of sound systems, Reggae Wednesdays, Reggae Gospel Concert, Bob Marley's 75th birthday celebrations, Doria Honours Award, Reggae Film in the Park, Children of the Icon Store concert and more. Keep up to date on all the activities. Download the new Reggae Month mobile app. Simply search the words Reggae Month Jamaica in the Google Play or App Store. The app will also allow you to add and promote your own Reggae Month activity. So what are you waiting for? Download away and make use of this innovative technology today. Reggae Month 2020. Come catch the rhythm.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We're here with Marlon Williams, Senior Education Officer, Curriculum Unit in the Ministry of Education. He's also chairman of the Jamaica Day Planning Committee, and we're discussing Jamaica Day 2020. All right, so Jamaica Day is being held this year on the 21st, but is usually held on the last Friday. Tell us why the change?
Right, so, yes, it was proclaimed by the Governor General. Yes, it was proclaimed by the Governor General that it should be the last Friday in February. But also in his proclamation, it did state that unless there are unforeseen circumstances, our students play a critical role in the celebration. They are and I'm going to call them now, the keepers of our culture. Persons tend to think that the keepers of the culture would be the older folks. But no, our students who are growing up now need to be immersed in it, so that it can be retained. Now, on the 28th, which would be the last Friday, schools will be on midterm. And because we want the students' full participation, then we have decided to have it 1 week earlier to facilitate our students.
Good, good. Now, Jamaica Day was first introduced in the schools, right?
Right.
And now it's been, corporate Jamaica is now being asked to also observe the day. How has that been going?
That over the years has been, I would say, it is improving. This year we have Fontana Pharmacy, who is representing, and I would say representing the private sector, this year as one of our, and I'm not going to say sponsors, I'm going to say as one of our partners this year. And all of this is in a push to ensure that all of Jamaica celebrates with us. Jamaica Day is not just about our students. It is about everybody. And so it is a day when we want all Jamaicans to put aside everything and focus on what makes us uniquely Jamaican. Okay. So I would say that the push to get corporate Jamaica, the push to get the wider populace involved is going pretty well.
What do you want us to do as corporate Jamaica?
Well, on that day, I would love for everybody to be, decked out in the Jamaican colors, to include the bandana as well. And that for us as a ministry, would be significant in showing the world that you are indeed celebrating what we have. And when I say for us too, the Jamaica Day, it is a collaborative event between the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information and the Ministry of Culture as well, and our newest partner, Fontana Pharmacy.
Yes, yes. No, Ministry of Education and Culture, there's a collaboration now for a new element to the celebration. Tell us about that competition that you're having.
Right. So what we have, well, I'm going to talk about two different competitions. Let me talk about the one which is so there are two competitions. Let me first talk about the one that Fontana Pharmacy is involved in.
Yes.
So we have what is called a creative arts competition or a performing arts competition this year. Now, let me just give you a little background to where it started. It was always my view that private sector needs to be involved, as we discussed earlier. And so last year, I reached out to Mr. Kevin O'Brien Chang, who is the chairman of Fontana Pharmacy, and I indicated to him that we want private sector partnership. And I didn't use the word partnership loosely, because I indicated to him that I'm not asking you for money. I just want to ensure that we get everybody involved. And without hesitation, he said, just tell us what I can do. In my discussions with him, he has a vision of building greater awareness, not just about Jamaica Day, but our culture in general. And he said that he would love for us to have some kind of competition. And so we started talking, and hence the Creative Arts competition came up. So the students are asked to select their icon or icons, and they are to create a 2 to 3 minute video celebrating the life and work of the icon or icons. And in that video, all areas of the arts must be present.
Okay.
And so we must see drama, we must see dance, we must hear music, and of course there is the visual art aspect of it as well. And of course it must include Fontana's tagline, which is, it's all good inside. And of course it must include the ministry's mantra, which is every child can learn, every child must learn. And so right now, the videos have been uploaded to the website.
About how many?
Well, I think we have, well, I can't give you the numbers now,
yes, but it was good.
But I think it's a overwhelming support that we got from the schools. And so everyone, all of Jamaica, not just the schools, can go to, on their YouTube channel, they can go to Fontana-Ministry of Education competition, and they can like the videos.
And the winners will know.
And the winners will be contacted, and there are, I would say, significant prizes.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we have the competition in 2 phases or stages. So we have catering for the primary schools to include the prep schools as well, and we have for the secondary schools.
Yes.
We have laptops, projectors, monetary prizes.
But it's
as
closed
well.
already, right? So
Well, it is closed
closed
already.
already.
But the good thing
Yes.
about it is that everyone who is listening, everyone who is
Yes.
watching,
Yes.
can now access the YouTube
Oh,
channel
view,
and
right.
do the voting,
Yes.
because the voting will actually close on Monday.
Oh, okay, good. Tell us about the second competition.
The second competition, and this is in an effort to get all of Jamaica involved. We have what is called a Best Decorated Building competition.
Okay.
We actually started this competition last year.
Yes, I remember.
So we expect all government ministries to decorate their main building or buildings in the Jamaican color.
On Jamaica Day.
Not just on Jamaica Day, but the week leading up to Jamaica Day. The week of Jamaica Day is when a team, which comprises representatives from the Ministry of Education and representatives from the Ministry of Culture and other stakeholders as well, who sits on the committee, to go out, take pictures, do the judging, and to determine which of the buildings is best decorated with the Jamaican colors.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the school that's hosting the national event this year, the official launch.
Right. So the official celebration
Yes.
will be at Denby High School. Every year we try to move, well, not try. Every year we move to a different region, so we choose a school in a different
Yes.
region. This year it will be at Denby High
In
School.
Clarendon. What time will it start?
The day's event will start promptly at 9 a.m. With, like I indicated earlier, the extended devotion leading into the civic ceremony. Then there will be displays to be viewed, and it ends with a grand concert where we will be seeing a lot of cultural items on display.
And anyone can come?
And yes, it is open to the public for them to come in and view.
Okay. Last word for us?
Just to say to Jamaica that this is a day that we ought to celebrate. And so while you're going to work, you're going to the bank to transact business, even if you're going to the farm, it would be nice to wear your Jamaican colors to show us that you are indeed celebrating a day that makes us who we really and truly are.
Amen. This has been Get the Facts. Our guest was Marlon Williams, Senior Education Officer, Curriculum Unit in the Ministry of Education. He's also chairman of the Jamaica Day Planning Committee. Jamaica Day is part of the Culture in Education program under the Ministry of Education. It seeks to celebrate our country, our people's contribution to the world. Put on your black, green, and gold and join the celebration this year in a school nearby you. Until next time, when Get the Facts brings you more information on government's initiatives, I'm Anthony Campbell. Thanks for watching and take good care.